Today we're going to be fixing everything wrong with my Temu Volkswagen Golf. Because we have a huge problem that almost sent me to the afterlife. We have got some catastrophic engine problems that is causing this car to turn into a choo-choo train. Proper embarrassing. I feel like Thomas the Tank Engine with the amount of white smoke coming out the car right now. And now the worst problem of all, the car doesn't start again. You can't write it. You can't write it. Sick. You can't write it. In the last video it didn't start, and now in the brand new video it doesn't start. Hey. Just shut my head in the fucking... And that's not to mention all the lights on the dash, so we've got a lot of work to do. Pretty much, it's now time to dive headfirst into these problems and get this car fixed.
Because at the minute, the Golf is just a very, very expensive driveway ornament.
Now, getting into the first problem on this Volkswagen Golf, we actually have a starting problem. And from my diagnosis and my endless research into the electronical component of this car and this and that and whatever, the diagnosis that I've actually concluded is this car is just basically being, it's being a Now, if you guys didn't see the last video installing a virtual dash to the car, I think that might be our problem.
So many of you guys in the comments wanted to see a virtual dash installed to the car, and of course you guys are like my princess. I've got to make sure you're happy. Now, it transformed the car from an old clapped Mark V Golf into an Audi RS3, RS7, whatever car we wanted through the different dials and themes. Now, the car did start multiple times with the dash until the source was too much for the Golf and it didn't start anymore.
Sick. Now, the reason why I'm diagnosing the virtual cockpit as the problem is because, I mean, it says it's the problem. We've got instrument cluster data bus faulty. We've got anti-theft engine disable control module, no signal. We've got instrument cluster, no signal, again. So pretty much that's like 5 fault codes pointing towards the virtual cockpit.
Now, as most of you guys know, I am a bit brain dead sometimes, so the first thing I wanted to check was that I plugged everything in correctly. So I disconnected, then reconnected everything, and spoiler alert, it didn't do jack shit. Now, this is a little tip for anyone with a girlfriend with a Mark V Golf. If she pisses you off, just take her instrument cluster out till she apologizes, because something I didn't know is that there's an immobilizer key inside your car keys that connects to your instrument cluster, which then passes on to the ECU whether it's the right key or the wrong key. If it's the right key, it will allow the car to start, and if it's the wrong key, it won't start. But without the instrument cluster, there's nobody to tell the ECU whether it's the right key or the wrong key, so it will not start. So long story short, we swapped back to the old module, we plugged it back in, and it still didn't start.
Oh mate, for fuck's sake. What's that doing now?
Now it's looking like the dash is out to piss me off today.
And that's why I'm packing this dash up and sending it over to a specialist who is going to diagnose and fix any problems for the price of my left testicle. £190. Looks like I'm eating baked beans and cheese for the next week, I swear to God. So until that dash comes back, we're unable to start the car.
But luckily and unluckily for us, we've got plenty more problems to fix on the Volkswagen Golf. Now, this next problem almost put me into a barrier.
Because this problem led to me having no ESC, traction control, or ABS. You already know I drove home in silence after that.
So I think it's about time we get it fixed. And that problem is an electrical issue with the ABS wheel speed sensor.
Now, the issue became very clear as soon as I took the wheel off. I don't think you need to be Albert Einstein for this one. I don't even think you need to be a mechanic to diagnose this.
Right here, we've actually got the ABS wheel speed sensor that looks like it's just been ripped off from the connector right here. So unless this wire is Bluetooth, fam, I think that's broken. Or it could be the second option. It ain't got no gas in it.
I know what's wrong with it. Ain't got no gas in it.
This thing that I'm pointing at so lovingly is the ABS sensor. And after disconnecting the electrical clip, I then undid the bolt and wiggled it out until it snapped.
You bastard.
Sometimes I go to myself, I really miss working on cars. It's been a long time since I've done a job. And times like this makes me never want to touch a car again. The plastic piece has snapped off the old one and is now inside where the new one needs to go. Oh my God, I miss working on cars, man. I miss it, you f***ing you son of a bitch.
So yeah, that was definitely my fault for twisting instead of just pulling straight out. I'm not used to pulling out. Hey, sorry. Tough crowd. Tough crowd. But quite simply, the whole braking system needed to come out, ready to take off the CV bolt, lower control arm bolt, and then smack the drive shaft out so we could access this tiny little ABS sensor, which we need to poke out quite simply with a few love taps. Woof.
Bye, have a great time.
And then we can get the brand new ABS sensor put in place, bolted in, and get everything back together, ready to repair the rest of the sensor. Now, this must be a pretty common thing for these to snap because we've actually got a repair kit right here, which we quite simply solder on to the ripped wires and then connect it to our brand new ABS sensor. Now, super annoyingly, we won't be able to find out if that's fixed the ABS issue until that new dash comes back. But fingers crossed, I won't be facing any barriers once this is back on road.
Next problem on this car is making this car turn into Thomas the Tank Engine. It's spitting out white smoke everywhere. A bit like me when I see your sister. Now this little small box should actually fix our engine light, which is actually the glow plug control module faulty or something like that. And that is leading to every single glow plug not working on the car. And I'm actually going to call my girlfriend up and get her to explain why that is. Hey sweetie pie, can you please explain to the viewers why my diesel car is blowing out white smoke?
Absolutely. So when a diesel car is blowing white smoke, it often means that the fuel isn't burning completely or that the engine isn't reaching the proper operating temperature. The glow plug control module plays a big role in heating the glow plugs, especially during cold starts. If that module fails, the glow plugs might not heat up properly and the engine can struggle to combust the fuel fully.
Thank you, princess. I'll see you later tonight, yeah?
You're very welcome. I'll be here if you need anything else. Have a great one and see you later.
Jeez! Girlfriend reveal, eh? Now this glow plug control module would win a game of hide and seek because we first got to take out the battery and then we got to go fishing, lads.
Now, the best things in life are usually underneath, and this control module is no different, hiding under the fuse box. It's got a handy slide-in design, which means we can quite simply slide it out using our hand. Giggity.
Cheeky fella's got social anxiety, hiding completely out of the way. Got it. Bang. Look at that. Nice and mouldy. This is the first time it's seen daylight. And I think, to be honest, it wants to go back in because the UK weather's wank. Old one out, new one in. Let's get it installed. And once again, super annoyingly, we're not going to know if this is fix a problem until that dash comes back.
So after clipping it and sliding it back into place, hopefully when that dash comes back, we won't have an engine light on the dash anymore.
The next problem is inside the car and it's pretty urgent. And it's the fact that I need a refill. And now I'm happy. Let's get back to it. Now my Volkswagen Golf has actually forgot that I'm a little bit of a weakling and I got twig arms because the power steering has actually given up on us, which makes doing a 3-point turn feel like my arms are about to fall off, mate. But this is actually quite an annoying problem because it's actually leading to a power steering light on the dash and no power steering. I quite like power steering. I'm a little bit of a weakling, you know, so got a new steering wheel. What am I on about? Look at that. Woof! Mario Kart on the Wii is going to go hard with this. Now at this point of the job, most of you guys, including myself, will be reaching for the most unhealthy, chemical tasting, disgraceful energy drink to power you through the rest of the job. But not any longer because I want to introduce you guys to Holy, which is actually perfectly balancing up there. Look at that. And Holy is actually soft drinks revolutionized. Holy has no sugar, it's packed with antioxidants, electrolytes, and vitamins. And I think arguably the best bit is the flavor. Now this right here is my favorite flavor, Gorilla's Grape. And it tastes as if you went into the Amazon rainforest, you picked the fruitiest, most scrumptious grapes off a grape tree, if that's a thing, and liquefied them. Delicious. Modern day Shakespeare, eh?
And if grape doesn't suit your taste, they have a huge variety of flavors to try.
Now my favorite piece of Holy is the utter convenience of it. 500 milliliters water, 1 scoop of Holy, a quick shake, and you're ready to blast out any job. Whether that's working on your car, working in an office, exercising, and anything to your heart's desire. And this right here is where the steering control module is gonna lie. Now, if you are at all interested in trying Holy today, then click the link in the description and use my discount code OtherStuff5 for £5 off your first order and OtherStuff for 10% off every order after. And if you are quick, for their New Year's deal, they are actually giving a free thermoshaker with the starter set deluxe.
So now that we've got our energy back, we got 1 screw to take out and put down very gently. Up next, we got the steering control module to take out.
So we had to use this skewer to press this tab in, or else you're going to snap it, and we had to press this tab in. Quite easy.
Time for the clock spring to come out too, ready to reveal the steering angle sensor, which is actually used to measure the steering wheel's angle, direction, and speed to center the car's ECU.
Old one, brand new one. That one's got blue on instead.
Probably the most easy installation I've ever done. It slopped into place and that's it.
The new steering angle sensor is back in place. We've clipped it all back in. Hopefully that's in place. Feels pretty stable. Don't feel like it's coming out. Clock spring back in. Now steering wheel back in. And hopefully that's sorted our issue. It might need a bit of coding or calibration, but we can sort that all out once that dash comes back in. That dash is just fucking the root of all evil at the minute, honestly.
And the instrument cluster is indeed the root of all evil, because we've just got breaking news that pretty much the instrument cluster has been damaged catastrophically. EP! 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 So I actually sent my instrument cluster to a company down in Portsmouth called Cartronix. Link in the description if you want to test your instrument cluster. They've been so incredibly helpful. They actually tested my instrument cluster and the results came back basically that most likely the digital dash has caused the backboard in the old cluster to short circuit, and in turn it's actually deleted and wiped all key data from the cluster. So pretty much even if we get that cluster back and install it after being repaired, we'd still technically need to code it to the car. But this whole news is possibly the worst news I could have got, because now I've just got even more delays and even more headaches. The car's been off-road, not starting, for 4 weeks now. So later on in the video, I will get to the root of that problem and this car will 100% start by the end. But I think for right now, we've got a problem with the rear left ABS sensor, which we've got to investigate and fix. So let's get to that first. F my life.
The first way to diagnose an issue is firstly ask the car, which sometimes doesn't work. But other times we're going to have to strip apart the car to get a better understanding of what's the problem. Firstly taking off the brakes and then using my Asian persuasion gun to make taking out this wheel bearing bolt that much easier. And straight away, I did see a problem. Now the ABS sensor looks to be grounded down quite a bit, and I don't know if that would cause a problem or not, but maybe that might be the light on the dash. Now I do usually like to explain what the parts I'm changing on the car do, so that both you and me get a better understanding of the problem. But quite frankly, I don't know what an ABS sensor does, nor do I know why it being a little bit chipped down might cause this issue. But I'm sure you guys in the comments are going to know a lot more than me. But either way, I got a brand new wheel bearing for the rear and the brand new ABS sensor all installed. And fingers crossed, that is going to fix our issue. But again, we won't know until that dash comes back.
I've actually got some bad news about the Volkswagen Golf for you lads. But I do have a little bit of good news. So let's go into that first. And that good news is we've actually got my old instrument cluster back from testing from Cartronix. This is the one they basically said is completely fried. And we've actually got a donor instrument cluster right here. So now onto the bad news. The next step is a bit more complicated than just plugging the brand new instrument cluster in, because as we now know, it's got some sort of immobilization cycle. The immobilizer in the instrument cluster then needs to be coded to the car because it's not going to work, because that instrument cluster would basically be foreign to the Volkswagen Golf. Is that racist? I don't think so. And with the new instrument cluster, we've actually got to transfer all the data about the mileage from my Volkswagen Golf onto this instrument cluster because it will be wrong. And the third thing is the keys will then need to be coded to the new instrument cluster because, as we know from testing, all key data was erased from the fried cluster. And the best bit is all of this needs to happen without my car leaving my driveway because I cannot drive it. So I have actually called in the best of the best, arguably, P1 Auto Keys. Some of you guys might recognize the name, but he's done Matt Armstrong's cars, Chris Slick's cars, Ethan Oberton's cars. Literally any car YouTuber that runs into electrical problems, this is the man to call. He's coming next week, which is now 7 weeks the car's been off-road and possibly 6 weeks I haven't uploaded. So I'm unfortunately having to leave today's video here.
And instead of just leaving you guys in the dark for yet again another week, I'm at least releasing this video so you guys know exactly what's going on.
And this right here is one of the most frustrating things because every single thing we've installed and fixed in today's video, we don't even know if it's been fixed. The steering wheel angle sensor, don't know if it's fixed. Not a clue. So yeah, we won't know if anything is fixed until the next video. And I really apologize because I didn't want to post this video until this car got up and running. But it's just a waiting game now. It's just like literally, my mind is going numb because all I'm doing right now is waiting. I was waiting for the instrument cluster to get tested. I was waiting for the instrument cluster to come back. I was waiting for the new instrument cluster to come back. And now I'm waiting for it to get coded. So like I'm in a very defeated position right now. Now, I don't even want to promise anything because knowing my luck, right, we're going to get the instrument cluster coded to the car and then it's going to not start even further. There's going to be more problems. Fingers crossed. Double fingers crossed. In the next video, we're going to get this car started and that instrument cluster problem is finally going to fuck off. And in that video, I'll be modifying the Volkswagen Golf even more, as well as fixing any remaining problems. But if you guys want any sort of modifications to the Volkswagen Golf, I know a lot of you guys want new headlights. As a huge apology, right? If you guys want new headlights, even if they might cost an arm and a leg to buy, I will Klarna that. I will get Klarna on that. I'll hire my Klarna girl. As a huge apology for not getting the car back on road, I want you guys to go ham with the modifications you guys want to see in the comments below for the next video. It's such a big deal getting this car back on road because as soon as this car gets back on road, there is a new car joining us. It won't make sense to you guys, but I need my Volkswagen Golf back on road before I buy the next car for the channel. So let me know what car you guys want to see for the next series. I've got one in mind, but anyway, next week the car should be back on road, and then soon after that, there should be a brand new video. And lastly, don't forget to click the link in the description and use my discount code to go get your Holy today. And let me know which flavors you like the best. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see your faces in my next video.